Well, I'm Sally T, and I am a Torres Strait Islander Canadian who grew up in Australia. So I'm an Indigenous Australian, and my mother is Canadian, so I've ended up living out in Canada for the last little while. I was working in Calgary. My boyfriend and I were running a catering business, and we were working in this kitchen with a whole bunch of other people, which was really cool a lot of the time. But I don't know. There were clashes as far as like health and sort of cleanliness standards in the kitchen, and I have very high standards for, like if you're cooking commercially, it should be clean. And so there was this other guy who ran a catering business, and he was just the opposite of it. It was disgusting the way he ran his business, and the kind of the food that he'd leave around and things kind of like growing mold, and I'd often have to like clear his stuff out so I could just clean my stuff out, and it would be just the grossest stuff. It'd be like 2-week-old spaghetti in containers that had this like green furry stuff on top of it. And anyway, I made this song up one day while I was in the dish pit because I was just pissed, and I was just pissed at him, sick of it. I was just fucking clean up your shit all the time, and so I had this song that I would sing while I was in the dish pit cleaning up his mess. And then one day he came in while I was doing it, and I just said, you need to clean this shit up. How many times do I have to tell you? And he started kind of ranting at me. He used to love yelling at me. That was his form of communication. And so he started yelling at me, and I lost my temper, but I'm just not very good at, I'm not good at yelling arguments, and I just felt like it needed to come out, and I just started singing this song to him at the top of my lungs. And we were in the kitchen's really loud and echoey. It's kind of this really kind of high ceilinged, big, lot of resonance, and I just sang it. I sang it so loud at him, and he didn't know what to do. And I just kept singing. I sang the whole song, and he eventually just kind of backed out, and I just followed him, and I followed him all the way to the back door, and he just went out the back door, and I just shut it behind him and went back to cleaning his dishes. So I still had to wash his dishes up, but it felt so good to let it out. Yeah, it probably didn't feel great for him. Ain't no good, ain't gonna do me no good. To stay will lead to my demise. Ain't no good, ain't gonna do me no good. Best cut my losses and ride. Well, who's gonna bring the passion? Who's gonna bring the light? And who's gonna wash these dishes? Who's gonna make a compromise? Oh well, who's gonna take the money? Who's gonna pay the toll? Oh, and who's gonna give their body? Who's gonna sell their soul? Well, it ain't no good, ain't gonna do me no good. This day will lead to my demise. Ain't no good, ain't gonna do me no good. Best cut my losses and ride. Well, there ain't no point in looking around now for someone else to pick up the slack. And ain't no point in getting down about it now, when what you give you don't get back. Well, I don't know why we bother. There ain't nobody getting paid. You're gonna have to find another, 'cause I'm not your mother and I ain't your maid. Well, it ain't no good, ain't gonna do me no good. This day will lead to my demise. Ain't no good, ain't gonna do me no good. Best cut my losses and ride. Well, the moral of this story is that there just ain't no guarantees that things are gonna go the way way that you want them to. So sometimes it's just better to leave. Yeah.
Yes.